hobbyists. Take the lunchbox up a mountain. You could do some filming. You'll have a great time. Of course, it fell down said mountain, managing to find every pile of sheep poop there was, and from the look of it they need more roughage in their diet. This is why the lunchbox now looks like this. The wheels literally caked in it. The body has knocks in the paintwork now also. I'd even painted around the windscreen again the day before. As well as trying to make the lunchbox have less organic matter on it, there is also the bad juju to address of the broken steering arm that we need to investigate. I don't know why, but I find these body pins fiddly, but I don't want ones with tabs on them, as I feel like one of those people with massive bunches of keys, when in reality they only have 3 working keys, and just a bunch of naff key rings from the likes of Chessington World of Adventure or Camelot, as well as pictures from 8 years ago declaring you are a VIP from a local discotheque. As we can see here, there is no actual damage inside the lunchbox. A bit of sand which gets everywhere, but essentially it's fine. And yes, I have heard of cable management. To be able to do a proper job, this is where the wheels have to come off. Using a box wrench included in the kit, getting the nuts off is quite easy. Hats off to Tamiya for giving you metal tools, as even equipment for changing wheels on a full-size car is a bit Fisher Price these days. Once you are able to remove the wheel, this gives you far better access for cleaning and fixing the car. It's amazing what builds up behind the wheels, I must admit. With the blue gloves, I feel like the Irish guy in Silent Witness, you know, the one that's sensitive but also into UFC fighting. I have increased the speed here, in case you thought I was practicing for a Formula 1 team. Anyway, you get the point. This is how to remove the wheels. So having a closer look at the shell, the damage does seem minimal, but it does need to be de-pooped so I can get a full evaluation. Eventually I will be respraying the lunchbox, just I had hoped that it would be a few months away. With elbow grease and Arthur roll, let's get this started. I mixed some eco-friendly washing up liquid and some warm water together. I started to try and get the bulk of it off. It was quite stubborn, as you can see here, and I didn't want to attack it because of the decals, and also to keep the paint intact. As you can see here, the best plan was to drench it and really coat it in a soapy mixture. And as you can see, it did start to work, and the poop did begin to lift. Next job is the wheels, as they ran through and over all sorts of things. As this soap and kitchen towel works so well with the body, I used the same method for the wheels. At first. The tread of the tyres proved the issue here. At first you think wheels look like this for ornamental reasons, to give a sense of realism, but in a cost-effective way. But looking how they grabbed into this, well, matter, it shows how they do actually help with traction. What was also very evident here was that this method was not working, as it was still proving very difficult to remove any of the poop by this method. I find it fascinating how radio control cars, as a hobby, calls for a washing up sponge so often. Should it be for scuffing a body ready for painting, or removing traces of a mountain from a set of lunchbox wheels? It's an essential piece of kit. By the way, this would be a perfect time to like and subscribe. Once I scrubbed the tyres, I ran them under the outside tap and left them in the sun to dry. I then used some compressed air to try and blast some of the beach particles from the lunchbox, which it did very well. Shop around for this stuff, as it's usually cheaper to buy a few cans at once, and as they don't last that long, it's always handy to have in, especially for dusting glass lampshades. Finally, after taking the wheels and the body off, cleaning said wheels and body, as well as making sure that the chassis is clean, it's time to address the steering arm. I'd struck lucky on this occasion. It was only loose, and the cap screws and the ball connector nut were still attached, so it was just a case of reattaching, and as the wheels were off, this was made a lot easier. Once back together, this is the part I usually dislike the most, seeing if it works. So with fingers crossed, I switched it on to see if it behaved again as it should. Success! See, I never doubted it for a moment. Remember all that fun we had taking the wheels off? Do you remember how we did it? Good, as now it's time to put them back on. An important note, I see a lot of Tamiya Lunchboxes with the wheels on the wrong side. The tread points forward like an arrow. I saw a lunchbox on eBay recently and every tyre was pointed in a different way, like if you put wellies on a dog whilst having no concept of left and right. This whole process from start to finish took about an hour. I was able to sit in the garden on a Sunday afternoon and enjoy my outside space. Some of you may think this over the top and you should leave them dirty. That's fine. Also, I don't really do the shelf green stuff, as I feel that they need to be driven, but a bit of general maintenance will by far mean your machine will keep on keeping on, and to me, that's what the hobby's about. So here we are, back to full working order and ready for the next outing. Please remember to like and subscribe to see where we go next.